Okay, good afternoon guys. This is a quick video predominantly for one customer, but hopefully it will be of interest to you. Here we've got iTrain running, but we're using ICar to control the cars. So it's a different format of iTrain, but this is for the cars. And the customer, I just want to show him something I'm a little worried that might be set up slightly wrong. And it's to do with the vehicles and how you calibrate them for speed. Now each vehicle within the software needs to know the speed at every speed step at which the car is driving. So what you have to do is calibrate the speed of the vehicles over every speed step, so iTrain knows how far it's going, so when it stops or when it starts or when it positions it within the lane, it knows the exact position to have the vehicle, and it knows how to position the vehicle. So for example, I have a lane that starts here and it goes to just beyond this traffic light. So within the software it knows the length of that lane, and then also within the lane I've got underneath here 1, 2, 3 reed switches. In this case, you don't have to have that many, but just in this case. So when the vehicle chooses to run in this lane, it knows theoretically where it starts. It also knows the measurement between the other lane, for example where this one is. So it knows the measurement there. So when the vehicle leaves the lane, iCar says, okay, I've set it at this speed step, it should take X amount of distance to cross into this lane, and then this lane is X amount of centimetres long. The reed switches within the lane are set at certain centimetres off the start of the lane. So if there's one here, for example, when it hits this reed switch, it then says, okay, you're now at this distance. Was the distance that I set the speed step at and everything else correct, and has it achieved it and got there in time? If it has, it just says yes, okay. If it hasn't, it uses that as a confirmation to reset where the vehicle is. Okay, so how do we set the speed of the vehicles? Okay, I will show you. Let me just stop these ones running. I will actually use that one to do the speed measurement. So if I stop that one and I stop the other one that I've got running here, and I take the other one off the layout, because where my speed measurement is, this one would be in the way. So if I remove that, you then see it disappeared off there. So then I remove the vehicle from the road. Okay, that's that, and put him out of the way. Okay, so this is my road system, and I have reed switches at set positions around the lane where this vehicle's running. So you can see those reed switches, and as the magnet of the arm goes across, it just says yes, I'm here, and it works. Okay, so how do we do the speed measurement? So if we choose the vehicle that we want, this one happens to be called DTA, or this is one I built. So if I double click on that vehicle, you can now see it down in this bottom hand corner. If you've got it there, and then you go to View, Speed Measurement, Car. Okay, in here, so you have two feedbacks. Because we'd selected the vehicle, it was already showing it. And then we got from feedback 82, which on my plan is there, and feedback 93, which is right the way down here. Okay? It then needs to know the distance between those reed switches. So you measure from this one all the way down to that other reed, and you put in the distance. So mine's 153 centimetres. I've measured it out, and that's what it is. Then the next thing you do is you highlight the speed steps you want to check or recalibrate. I'm just going to do 4, and you hit start. And as the vehicle goes along, as it hits this reed switch, now we see here that it's gone to an arrow. and as the vehicle drives around, it's measuring the speed it's obtaining at this point in time, and when it gets to the last reed switch, which is down here somewhere, you'll see it light up, that will then change that arrow to a tick. So now it has a speed measurement. So that's the scale speed it was doing at speed step 1. So now it will keep going, and when we get to speed step 2, there it's started to measure, and it will go along the road. And then when it gets down to this reed switch down here in a minute, we've now got another speed. And actually it's quite interesting because I've obviously calibrated this one before. The speed hasn't changed at all, so this is good. This means the battery and everything else is still stable. Let's start measuring again, and as you can see it's going faster. So it just goes around this area as we and it speeds up as we go. Okay. And that's the last speed measurement. And then once it has done that, the vehicle stops. If you wanted to do some more, you could highlight the next speed steps. If not, just press apply. My graph didn't change because they were the same readings, so I know this is correct. Okay, so that is what you do to calibrate your locos. Not locos, cars. That's how you calibrate the cars, using the reed switches for your detection in the road. You must get these measurements right. If not, the vehicle won't stop in the lane in the right position. If you've said the lane's X amount of centimetres and you wanted to stop here and it isn't, it might go too far or too less if the lane's not the right length or everything else. So the length of a lane, for example, this one I've measured from here to just past the traffic light. Okay, so that's one lane length, that's in centimetres. And then when you put in the reed switch, it's from the start of the lane to the first reed, whatever that measurement is, and then to the next reed and to the next reed. So you do that in the lane. So if we look at the properties of this lane, properties, here we go, and we go to feedbacks. So here we can see the total length of the lane. The first reed switch is 3 centimetres into the lane, the next one is 8, and the next one is 23. You could have done this with 2. I just put 1 in because at the time that's what we did. But you don't need them that close, you don't need that many reed switches. Anyway, that's how you do the speed measurement and how you should set it up.